already put up the,
Let's go ahead.
yeah, have you already put up the last class meeting?
This is the first one. The meeting during the first week was just to kind of say hi. So this is the
okay.
first meeting where we're going over content.
Okay.
So there are a couple of questions that I need to get to the course page for. This is how, welcome everybody. What I'm going to do today is first answer student questions. So I have 2 already. Then I want to review some of the content that sometimes is just a little more complex or I think is especially important. And then I want to end with a Kahoot review for the exam, which is helpful. But Azme and Zenny, do you have any questions that you want me to address before I move on?
Hello, Professor Davidson. I don't have right now. I'm gonna hear you and I'll let you know if I have. Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you.
Yes, I have a question about like the homework that we have that is posted on the Canvas. Like it is for chapter 1, chapter 2, and chapter 7. So we have to do all of this before the January 31st.
Yes, you do. So let's start with that. Okay, so let me, what I'm going to do,
yeah,
I know
it's a lot.
It is a lot.
Because here is the thing, we also have other classes. Like for me on Saturday, I have by 1:10, 2 exams to take on that Saturday with another test and all those quizzes and also assignments. You know, we all, so it's like a lot of work in this head, you know. It's
So
too much.
Let me go over that. So hold on. And how did I just lose my, that's all right. So let me share the screen so that I can show you some tips. So the first thing, here we go. The first thing I would tell you is this course, the online version with all the work that you're seeing, it's the 3rd time that it's been taught this way. So the one thing I know, because students were really, really successful in this course, I had very few students drop out and a lot of good grades, is I know that this amount of work is manageable, but what you cannot do is leave it for the last weekend. And that's what I think, that's what I'm hearing right now. It's due January 31st, but the course started January 19th. So what you need to do, and you'll probably have to start maybe next unit, is you need to say, okay, it's the first Monday. Today, I'm going to look over this Nutrition Applied and get started and read chapter 1. It's Tuesday. Today, I'm going to listen to the lecture and do the reading quiz. It's Wednesday. Today, I'm going to do the video quiz and the class discussion. So this is not an easy course, but we have a lot of successful students who complete it, but you have to put in the time. I would say an hour a day. So you can't say, well, nothing's due in nutrition, I'll just wait till the weekend of the 31st, because then you will struggle. These are the last possible dates you can turn it in, not when you should be doing the work. Okay, so I understand it is a whole lot, but I be honest with you, students did really, really well in this course. So I did not have students failing out and not able to complete the work. The first unit, I think, is you're like, oh my goodness, I can't leave this to the last minute. So then next unit, you have to say, every day I need to put an hour in and do some of this work, either read the chapter, do the reading quiz. You absolutely can't think of the deadline as when you should be doing the work. So managing time is really, really important.
It's just because of this, like this, the 2 weeks, the start of the semester. So we have been like struggling to get used, especially for the students who it's the first time taking online classes. That's why I was wondering. So we have like other classes to manage. That's why it's looked like a lot, but like we need like just if you can like give us 1 more week and then after that like leave the homework due dates.
I'm not going to do it, and I'll tell you why, because this unit is the lightest unit. When this course is going to pick up pace and you're going to be reading more, you're going to be reading more difficult material, you're going to need the extra time. So the deadline is a firm deadline for these assignments. You really need to, so I would say, okay, so we are at Wednesday. You need over the next couple of days, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday, to then put 2 hours into this course each day. Okay, so maybe the first thing to do is to complete the nutrition applied assignment and submit that, and then start reading the chapters. Remember, the reading quiz is 18 questions. You can go into and out of the quiz, but that shouldn't take you more than 30 minutes. The video assignment takes 5 minutes. Okay, so it looks like a lot. A class discussion might take you 30. We're at the most. We're not talking about assignments that take 10 hours. So no, I'm not going to extend the deadline because it looks like a lot of work, because it actually is going to become even more work in the units to come. But let me move on because I need to cover some other things. You mentioned, is it Pose?
Yeah.
Pose, that you clicked in and nothing happened. So,
nothing.
All right, that shouldn't happen, okay? What should happen the first time you click into one of these assignments is that you're led through a Wiley registration and you fill out the information, you are sent a confirmation code, and then you are in. And after that, when you click on this, you should get your assessment. So it's right here. It actually is an extra credit, so that is a little misleading, but it's a reading quiz. So it should come right up for you, but I would say don't use Microsoft, not Microsoft, don't use, what's the old one? Use Chrome or Firefox, okay?
I don't get it. I'm confused. What do you mean? We have to put a passcode? Or what?
No, you don't have a code. As part of the registration process, you're going to be sent a code to your email or your phone. So you have to enter your email and then you click, it will say a code has been sent, you enter it. It's the same way if you do any banking or you buy something online, sometimes they're just checking to make sure your email is correct. Okay, if you
so that will happen after you click on the quiz, right?
Okay, so why don't we do this? Why don't we go through the work, and then for the last 10 minutes, are you on a computer, Pose?
Yeah, I'm using my computer.
Okay, we'll have you share your screen and we'll lead you through the process so then everyone can see. The other thing about the reading quiz, besides the fact that they are an actual grade, not for extra credit, is that when you do them, you'll get a 0 in your grade book until the deadline, and then you'll see your actual grade. And then I had a question from a student about the iProfile assignment. As part of the first Nutrition Applied assignment, you're going to be using a tool called iProfile. You can find a tutorial for this assignment online. So it shows you how to complete the assignment as a kind of screen video. But I want to show you real quickly now because this student had a couple of questions. She couldn't be here today. So for the Nutrition Applied, you need to keep a 3-day record of everything you eat and drink, and then you need to enter it into this program. You'll first enter your information here, and then you'll go to the food journal. Now, her question was, how do I know how much I ate? Some of that comes from starting to watch, what portions say and measuring things with cups, but there's also some portion size tutorials here. So it shows you a lot of different little quick animations you can watch as far as, how much meat or fish am I eating? And you can watch that. What do you put on your bagel? So there's a whole list of these to give you an idea. Her other question had to do with, what if she eats something like green beans, but she ate it with tomato sauce, oil, and salt? So what you probably want to do is you want to enter that as green beans. Okay, boiled and drained was exactly what she told me, and add that to whatever meal. So she said tomato sauce. So she's going to want to kind of guess at the amount of tomato sauce that was in her portion. And I would say we can use this one. It's probably not a whole cup. So we're going to change that to tablespoons, and maybe she thinks it's close to 2 tablespoons. She's going to add that. She said there was a little salt in there. So it's, you itemize the foods and add them one by one. There's a create a new recipe function down at the bottom, but most students don't find that very easy to use. So I suggest just kind of taking the food item apart and entering it piece by piece. Okay.
Yeah.
So I want to cover a couple of different things. I'll do it quickly since you seem more concerned with kind of how to get started, and but I did want to mention a few things here. Now, what I want to ask of you is that you shout out to me if you're not seeing what I'm expecting you to be seeing. So I'm looking at slides. Are you looking at slides?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
Good. All right.
I didn't see the parts where you said make sure you scroll down to popular topics or something like that. I couldn't find popular topics, anything written like popular topics.
And
just choose my plate or whatever.
So one of the things I'm hearing is maybe that you're not reading the announcements that I send out, because I did mention that in a video announcement along with a text that told you, don't worry about that, just write about something you're interested in. They took it away.
Oh.
So here's the thing, on an online course, I don't see you every day or 3 times a week. So I reach out by sending announcements. So if you don't want to check your notifications every time you get binged, be sure to check your announcements once a day for the course. Okay.
Okay.
All right. So let's look at this. A couple of different things I wanted to. Okay. One of the things that is my kind of pet peeve, or and why isn't this going? Let me do it.
I'm sorry, how did you get to the PowerPoint? Was it under modules?
It is. And who is this?
This is Elal.
Okay, you know what? I'll show you in just 1 minute, okay?
Yeah, no problem. Okay. Sorry about that.
So no, that's good. I want to answer your questions. So here's something that I'm kind of focused on, and you'll see it at the end of every homework assignment. I think it's important that future nurses, which most of you are able to take the science and then make simple, practical, and realistic suggestions. So you'll see a lot of attention to things like simple strategies, because sometimes people think nutrition is so confusing that they don't even want to try to make changes, but it can be as simple as replacing the soda with water. Okay, so we need to not only look at the complexities of nutrition, but also how to translate that for our patients or our clients. Now, I also, and I'll get back and show you where that is in 1 minute, but I also wanted to talk a little bit about the dietary guidelines, because your textbook has the 2015 dietary guidelines and the 2020, a little late, but they were just released. So I wanted to share a little bit of information about the dietary guidelines, and I'll do that in just a minute. I'll leave the slideshow and do that. The final little piece of this is right here, and this becomes important. So when you read about nutritional assessment in your textbook, it was one of my favorite parts about being a dietitian. The assessment is the gathering up of the data and then using it to figure out what's going on with a patient. And you do that in nursing as well. You're actually completing a dietary assessment on yourself in the project. And you need to have some understanding of what these numbers mean and they don't mean. So I wanted to take a minute to talk about that. This is actually the look to the reports that you're going to get from your iProfile project. And what you're seeing here is your goal. My DRI is your goal, what your actual intake was, and then how much of that goal the intake met. So something that I wanted to point out and make very, very clear is you can't diagnose a deficiency from your iProfile project. If this is how your iron looked, that you were only able to meet 54% over those 3 days, that's worrisome. But we also need to look at other things like, how are you feeling? How do you look? People with iron deficiencies get pale nail beds and they have pale linings to their eye. What do your labs look like as well? So there's a lot more information that's needed to diagnose someone. All this shows is how your diet looks over those 3 days. Jose, did you have a question?
Yeah. So I was trying to do the iProfile. And when you click on the reports or something, I realized that some of the stuff I entered, they were just highlighted in red. They didn't give certain amounts or percentage. They were just highlighted in red or something. And when I clicked, I think they say something like it can be measured or something. I don't know. So I'm just concerned. Did I put something wrong, or is that why, or is just something normal?
We'll be able to tell when you submit your first assignment, because you're going to submit the reports. So what you should be looking at now, are you looking at the reports?
Yeah.
Okay. So when you're finished, you're going to get one file, if you follow directions, that has all of these reports, a little bit of information about you. This is how your calories were distributed. We compare that to the AMDR, your actual food. So here, if you did things correctly, you should see the meals and the amounts that you entered. Then you have intake compared to DRI. Okay, we use this report a whole lot. And for the very first assignment, you're going to be looking at this My Plate report. So for Jane, she's not eating anywhere near enough fruits. Vegetables are halfway there, but that's still low. Dairy and oils, and she's eating a lot of empty calories. So if you follow the directions really carefully, you will have these reports, which you will submit with every homework assignment. Now, let me, yes, I hear a question, I think.
Yeah, yes. Like when I did the iProfile, I didn't get like a table like that. When I click on the wizard, I think it doesn't give me the option to print. So I did each one separately. So I have each file, like, but it doesn't look like.
Yeah. So you definitely need to do it in one, because it averages the 3 days. So let's look at that for a minute. So here we go. All right, so hold on for the slides. So the slides are down here under the exam. If you click into this page, there they are. Now, I mentioned in the video lecture that I really want you to click on all the links in the slides and listen to the little short videos. To do that, watch carefully. You have to open up the slides, enable editing. I have to move your, then go to slideshow and from current slide. So it opens just like it would in the classroom. And then when you get to a link, like is here, you can click on that and get to what it was I wanted you to listen to. Okay. So one of the things that's important is that after you listen to the lectures, that you go to the slides and open up the links as well. Okay, that will give you all the information. Did you get that? The person who asked the question, I'm forgetting your name because you're not on my list and it's staring.
Yep, I got how to get the unit one slides in detail. Thank you.
Sure. Now, real quickly, let's look at this reports. So if you want the reports to be correct, what you need to do is follow the directions really carefully. And it starts out with, I wonder if I can go like that. Yes, I can. It starts out with setting the calendar dates. So let's say the first day you kept records was here, and the last day you kept records was here. Okay, and this is all in the directions and the tutorial. Then you click on Wizard. See where it is? Okay,
yes, I did click on it, but like it doesn't give me the option to print. So I did print them on PDF documents, and like it's give me each day separately.
Okay, if you click on, if you set your calendar first and click on Wizard, it will average it out, I promise you.
Okay.
So then you check off the reports that you need, and that's listed in the homework.
Okay.
Okay, hold on. You don't have to print them out. You just have to click on print because you're not handing anything in.
Yes.
And then you'll have these reports.
Okay.
Now, I didn't include many foods because we're just playing around here, but yours will have more. So
Okay.
this is that's how you do that, okay?
Okay.
All right. So before we kind of, and I'm trying to make sure I attend to what you're most interested in, but I did want to show you, let me see something for 1 minute. I want to make sure you can listen. So yes, I want to share my sound. Okay. So I mentioned that the new dietary guidelines came out. What's kind of good is for us anyway, is even though they're not included in the textbook, it's very much the same as the old ones. They didn't make major changes. The major change they made was to focus on the whole life cycle, which is good because a lot of times people think, well, kids, they're kids. They can eat candy and drink soda. We'll worry about nutrition later. And that's really not worked out too well because we have huge problems with kids and their health and things like obesity. So there's more of a focus on the whole life cycle. They didn't change much besides that, but if you wanted to take a look at these, you can find them on dietaryguidelines.gov. What I'm going to do, let me see if I can, okay. I want to make sure nothing's in your way. I'm going to show this video. It's a couple of minutes long. It's nice. It goes over these new guidelines, and then we'll do Kahoot as a review, and then we'll use Pose to take a look at how to get linked into the course. you, is there anything that jumped out at you from that video? Something that surprised you or you thought they did well? I'll tell you what jumped out at me. I think it's important that are Americans eating very well? Not at all,
No.
right? Yeah. And that's a problem because most of us have one or more chronic diseases. So that's a big concern. I like the focus on the life cycle and also on diversity. I think that we need to stop thinking that there's one healthy diet. There are a lot of different ways to do a healthy diet. You'll hear me say, I don't want you to follow a diet that you think is healthy, but you hate, okay? We want people to find healthy foods that they love. And there's a lot of different ways to do that. All right, so we have a review called a Kahoot. Have any of you used Kahoot in the classroom before? I'll lead you through it.
No.
There are a lot of questions on here that you'll see on the exam or something similar. So it's very helpful and it's a nice kind of short little review. And then I'm going to go back to the course again and just, make sure we're okay. There are some things that worried me about maybe not listening to announcements or listening to the videos, etc. So I really want to stress the importance of that. So let's do this once again, share screen, and then I want to make sure I don't X out of Kahoot. Do you see the Kahoot in front of you?
Yes.
Okay. So what's going to happen is that you're going to be asked to, if you have a cell phone or, I think you can do this on a computer too, but it's meant more or less for cell phones. So how many of you have a cell phone at hand with you?
Yeah, I have it.
I have it.
Okay. All right. So you're going to type into your browser bar www.kahoot.it. And then you should be asked for a game pin. That's how this connects us.
I'm sorry. Hello?
Okay, so I don't have any players, so I'm wondering if
What do we do when we get in? What do we do when we get in?
Well, I don't think you're in yet because your name would show up if you were in.
Oh, just appeared.
There we go. Got one person in. And if you don't have a cell phone, we'll still go through the questions, but it would be nice if we have a couple of people playing.
Are you a teacher, business?
Sorry, what was it? Kahoot.com/
No, not Kahoot.com. Kahoot.it. IT.
Oh, .it. Okay, www.it. Okay. Then it says game pin.
Here it is. Are you?
Oh, that's the game pin. Okay.
Do you see the game pin?
4370614 4370614. Nickname is asking for a nickname.
So you can use a letter. People have used. You can put anything up there as a name. Okay, there you go. I like that.
Yeah, I got it.
We got players. All right, so we're going to start. If you don't have a cell phone, just follow along. You're going to see a question, and then you're going to see answers, and on your phone, you're going to choose the answer that you think is correct. I will try to move this little bar around. I'm not sure if I can get rid of it, but we can start. Okay, let's do this. All right, so here we go. All right, and I think this, which of the following is the most nutrient dense? Of those 4 foods, which one is the most nutrient dense?
So we just have to click on the color, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay, so we had one person get the correct answer. This should prod you to know what nutrient dense means, because you will have to know that for the exam for sure. Okay, Asme is in the lead. All right, let's see what the next one is. The typical American diet is which of these things? Typical American diet. Let's see how we did.
All, yes.
2 correct answers. Good job. Yes, it's all of those things. Doesn't mean your diet is, but the average American diet. Oh, Asma's moving.
When you get an answer, they say you're a genius.
So then we go on to, it's recommended that Americans moderate. You have to know what the word moderate means in nutrition. Oh,
well, it's covered.
I know. Whole grains, low-fat dairy. I need to get rid of this little thing, and I'm not sure why it popped up. Okay, there it is. Okay, sorry about that. But you're right. Okay,
yeah,
very good. Okay, let's see where we are now. All right. Oh, pretty close game. All right. We've got consuming low energy dense meals and snacks. What does that involve? So you need to know what low energy dense means.
But the words are not clear. The one in the red is not clear. I can't read it.
Involves choosing food with more fiber, fluid, and bulk. Blue involves, oh, here we go. All right, nobody really took that.
I'm trying to read it.
All of those
it's not
things.
clear.
So know what low energy dense is. All right, scores the same. The 6 classes of nutrients include all but which one? Which is the except? It is not considered a nutrient.
Alcohol.
Okay.
That one is easy.
Okay, so you gave away the answer there. So wait till after the buzzer to say the answer. Okay. And on to the Choose My Plate website recommends that half of the plate is taken up by, no yelling out the answer until we get the 20 seconds. Oh, kind of impressed with this group. Very good. Yeah, it's fruits and vegetables. Okay. And on the ingredients list of a food label, the ingredients are listed in order according to what? Nutrient density in red, volume in blue, weight in yellow, or the first letter of the ingredient in green.
I don't get the question.
Okay, it's weight. If you look at the ingredient list on a food label, they're in a specific order from the thing that is heaviest to all the way down. So if sugar was the first ingredient, it would mean this food has a lot of sugar. Okay. If a food label lists that a serving provides 25% of the daily value for a nutrient, what does that mean? So maybe you didn't look at the daily value yet, but you need to for the test. Okay. Nutrient is high. It doesn't necessarily mean too high, because if it's something that is good for you, it's not too high, it's just high. All right. To determine whether a patient may be consuming too much of a nutrient, which of the dietary reference intakes do you look at? Which of these shows you when levels may become toxic, too high?
What's enough prayer?
Okay, it's the UL, and you need to know those dietary reference intakes. Okay, and the best source for nutrition. Which one is best for good, factual, science-based information? Where would you look?
What are the words? Can you read them? I can't see.
So I probably don't have enough time, but I will next time. We'll see if anybody got this. It's a peer review.
Not clear.
Okay, it's not clear. That's weird, because it's clear.
It's kind of blurred, like
Yeah.
I can't even read those last things. Yeah,
That's very strange. All right, so let me, yeah, because I'm not seeing the, okay. The maximum length of time that you can leave perishable food at room temperature is 30 minutes in red, 2 hours in blue, 4 hours in yellow, no limit in green.
2 hours.
Okay, it is 2 hours. Okay, 2 hours is the food safety rule. No more than 2 hours. If you're eating out with or fixing a dinner, you don't want to leave it sitting on the counter or table for too long. You can determine if your hamburger is safe to eat by its internal color, red, the oven temperature, blue, the quality of the beef, yellow, or the internal temperature in green. Okay, very good. Okay. All right, Asma is really pulling ahead here. Food that's contaminated with a foodborne pathogen often looks and smells normal. True is in red, false is in blue.
Pathogen?
Like a food poisoning. Okay, it's actually true. It can smell and look normal, and it can make you very, very ill. So you can't depend on that. Which of the following is a safe method for defrosting meat or poultry? Red, sit it on the counter. Blue, place it in the refrigerator. Yellow, run it under warm water. Or green, microwave it.
Blue.
You're right. Okay. And this might be the last one. It is. Which of the following is an example of cross-contamination, a word that we use in food safety?
Can you read them, please?
Red, cutting the lettuce on the same board you cut chicken. Blue, rinsing raw chicken in the sink.
Oh.
Yellow, it's all answers. Okay, let's see how you did.
Yeah.
Okay, so here's your podium. So we only had, there you go. Okay. Posh is number 2, and number 1 for the grand prize of nothing in this virtual class is Asma. But at least you get some pretty confetti, which is nice. So let me get us out of this, and I will tell you, I have to move this. Yes, we're leaving the site. So I wanted to let you know that if you go to Kahoot.com and you sign up, you can find that quiz and you can practice on your own. Now it's only 15 questions and the exams are 50, so it doesn't mean that's all you need to know. All right.
Are these possible questions for the exam?
They are possible. So you will see something very similar to all of those. So here's what worries me about some of the discussion we've had today. First of all, you need to check your announcements. So let's say it's tomorrow, You go into the class, you click on these, and you make sure that you read them. Okay, so that's number one, because if we go back a ways, there is kind of important information like this one. I will always leave comments. How you find my comments, because you want.
I don't know why I can't see. You're showing the screen, but I can't see the words.
Does everyone else see the words?
Yes, I can zoom it. I can see very well.
Yes.
Okay.
I can't see. There's just.
So I'm not sure what's going on. Maybe when we switch to your computer, we'll be able to tell. And they're actually, it's in this. Right here. For Nutrition Applied 1, the MyPlateGov website review asked you to look under popular topics. That section's no longer available. Instead, read. So you really have to read the announcements, because I try to keep you informed about anything that might have changed. This is a little video that I'll send a video at the beginning of each week. Now, one more thing.
Listen to the video.
Okay, so announcements are a must. The other thing is, make sure you did the welcome unit, because there's a welcome video that tells you you need to get started and you need to manage your time and how to work through the class. So that is right here. There's also some extra credit points available through this right here. And I would say one more thing. It sounds like some of you haven't listened to the lectures, okay? So you need to get into the course and start doing it. Read the chapter. This is laid out exactly how you should complete this first unit. Read the chapter, listen to the video lecture, okay? I talk about probably everything that was in that Kahoot quiz right there. Do the reading quiz, do the video assignment, and the discussion. Go on to chapter 2. So this, all chapter 1 probably takes a couple of hours. Okay, that's why I say an hour a day throughout the whole unit, and you'll be able to manage this just fine. Now, so there are lectures in here. Lecture. If you don't work through the work as it's listed, you're going to miss some important things, and then you're going to feel more lost. So just go right down the list. Now, what I want to do is I want for Posey to share your screen so we can see what's happening on your end. Do you know how to do that on your computer?
Nope.
Okay,
Wow.
usually down on the bottom. I can't grab your screen.
Okay, it says share screen.
Share screen. Click on that, and then usually there's a couple things you can pick, and you want to pick the one that looks like a screen.
The one that looks like a screen, or my own screen, right?
Your own screen. Yeah.
Oh, okay, then it says share. Hold on, I think this was the last thing I was reading, so it might show.
That's okay. Now
just
tell me this. Yeah, I was gonna say,
I'm gonna change it, so
let me do this. Let me stop the recording. Okay, so you don't feel like this is all going out to 1 million people, or 36. So